I guess you must feel, what do you feel? Do you feel relieved, frustrated that finally people are catching up with you?
I suppose, yes. I mean, I'm still waiting to hear actually what's going to happen. We did start campaigning after the end of the inquiry, and the final report was published with the 20 recommendations. And as time went on, and there seemed to be so little that was happening, we decided we really needed to focus on the implementation of the recommendations and to promote the need for them. So the recommendations as a whole provide a really robust structure for change, and they cover every aspect of child protection and would make a radical difference to how we protect our children in this country.
Stephen Kinnock's just told me that the government's planning to introduce all of the recommendations. Do you think that they will? How optimistic are you?
Well, we will be really happy to work with the government to support them doing that. I think if the changes that were recommended, Minister for Children, National Child Protection Authority, will make a massive difference and will impact on all areas of child protection.
Some people are obviously calling for a second inquiry. And the reason that they're doing that is that they say that the J inquiry was too wide-ranging. It was looking at everything from, Jimmy Savile to abuse in the Catholic Church to the specific issue of grooming gangs of predominantly British Pakistani men that many people turned a blind eye to. Do you have sympathy with this argument, that it was just too wide-ranging to really address the issue?
I have sympathy with any survivor who's out there thinking, why wasn't my particular institution, why wasn't my issue subject of an investigation? And survivors do feel sidelined and not heard. So I've every sympathy for that. What I would say is that in all the investigations that took place and all the inquiries that they've been, the findings are so similar. And time and again, we come up against people who protect the institution they're in, protect the faith that they're in, therefore don't take action or are too afraid to take action. And so, whilst I've got sympathy for wanting another statutory inquiry, it would take time. It would take years before it reported back. I want to see action now. We've had an inquiry which looked at so many different aspects, so many different institutions and situations where children had been sexually abused and found these similarities. We need accountability. We need changes in the law. We need changes in practice and policy and in the whole culture of how we respond to children. We've got a blueprint for that from ICSA in the 20 recommendations. I would really like to see those really implemented and see what change they make.
You talked there about accountability. And I guess one of the things that strikes me about this is that these girls were let down by the people who were supposed to be looking after them, the social workers or the police or people who were supposed to be caring for the most vulnerable people in our society. And they were basically treated like criminals a lot of the time themselves. They were not believed, they were looked down upon. Where is the accountability there? No one has actually lost their job over it, have they?
No, they haven't. And I think that I can really understand the anger behind that and the feeling of not being valued, of not being heard. This is why we need radical change. I think absolutely those girls were let down dreadfully and continue to be let down in some instances. And so I can understand absolutely the anger that's behind that. And my heart goes.
Just to come in there, because you say that some of those girls continue, or girls like them continue to be let down. Is this the issue, that this kind of abuse is still going on?
I think so. And I think this is why we need the inquiry, the ICSA inquiry recommendations implementing, because they touch on every aspect relating to child protection. And so it's a really robust framework. And heading that up with Minister for Children and National Child Protection Authority gives it that accountability. It would give it the authority and the power to make the changes and to oversee the implementation of the rest of the recommendations so that we can really drive that culture change that's needed.
What do you make of the row that's happened with Elon Musk? Do you think that this is being whipped up by the far right?
Um, I don't know who's driving it. I just think it's a distraction. I'm more interested in how survivors are feeling. I don't think survivors out there care a fig what any what someone's saying. What they want is change. They want the recommendations put in place so that there is real change. And all the fighting and politicisation of the issue is really let's avoid that. Let's not think about that. There are more important things. It's the lives of children and ongoing safety of children that really matters.